Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
It isn't the first rodeo for BK when it comes to summertime themed sandwiches, and their latest sure looks to be shouting that in a king-size way. That's right, so let's go in on the all-new Pulled Pork King, and already that aroma of barbecue sauce is lighting up my car pretty ridiculously right now, almost like a hickory sweet type of barbecue sauce, and it's doing the job in the aroma department. Let's pop the top on the sesame seed bun and see what we're working with underneath. Plenty of crispy onions, guys. There is a plethora of them there. Lots of good stuff there. We've got the barbecue sauce. Looks like we've got a bunch of pickles in there as well, and a heaping portion of that pulled pork, looking really, really tasty. I think this is gonna be a pretty crunchy, pretty sweet tasting sandwich already, but looking pretty crazy. And I gotta say, the smell again, super strong. Once I pop the top, it's even stronger. So let's get into this right now and see what the flavor is all about. This is the all new Pulled Pork King here at BK. Let's peep out this flavor. So are you a fan of high quality, delicious looking food reviews? Well, if so, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to tap that bell icon so you can be notified as soon as new content drops every week. Well, let's dive into this one. Man, this thing is definitely packed and there's a ton of crispy onions on it. Here we go, it's the Pulled Pork King here at BK. Well, right off the break, guys, that barbecue sauce is absolutely lighting this one up here. It's very, very sweet with just a little bit of spice, but nothing too crazy at all. But the sweetness is definitely off the chart, at least for my liking anyway. But it's decent. Plenty of crunchy onions, the snap of that pickle. Overall, it's a very, very hearty first bite. Let's keep going with it. The pulled pork itself kind of has a Manwich or a Lloyd's type of quality to it there. It's definitely a sloppy Joe type of sandwich, but everything else on this one is taking the center stage for me, at least in the flavor department. The barbecue sauce is super strong, if not just a tad spicy, but nothing too crazy. And then those crispy onions and the pickles. Guys, it's pretty tasty and it's definitely a hearty sandwich, as you can see. Most of you guys probably know I'm not really a super fan of very, very sweet barbecue sauces, and thankfully the pickles on this are bringing that down just a little bit because of the acidity, the crunch, and naturally just the overall feeling of having something in addition to that really strong barbecue sauce. But guys, the pulled pork is plentiful, and those crispy onions add a very nice touch. Let's keep going with it, guys. It's not bad. I like it, even though it kind of smacks of a sloppy Joe type of sandwich, but there is a decent amount of pulled pork in here, guys, and they don't skimp on the amount of everything on the inside of the sandwich. It pretty much covers the circumference of the circle of that Whopper bun. Not bad at all. I'm gonna try and take you 360 on this one, hopefully without dropping a single thing off the sandwich here, guys, because there's plenty of those crispy onions. But as you can see, a plentiful amount of that pulled pork for sure. We've got a lot of those crispy onions as always, and the pickles, about 4 or 5 of them on here, are pretty decent. Overall, a pretty nice summertime themed sandwich, and the flavor is absolutely on par, especially if you like a sloppy Joe type of situation. You're gonna dig this one. It's not bad at all. Well, I'm not so sure this one's really worthy of the King name, considering we're missing those 2 flame grilled patties that the King burgers normally have. So overall, what we've got here is a fairly decent fast food pulled pork sandwich with a decent amount of crispy onions. Scratch that, a huge amount of crispy onions, and a pretty okay amount of pickles as well. And while the consistency and texture of that pulled pork in general kind of reminds me of like Manwich or Lloyd's, that type of brand, I would have much rather have had just the pulled pork on its own with some barbecue drizzle, because I think that would have been a little bit more effective. But what you're having with this one is a very decent amount of barbecue sauce, and if you like the sweetness factor, you're definitely gonna dig this a lot. Thankfully, the pickles take that down just a bit, at least for me. So overall, I'm gonna have to give the Pulled Pork King here at BK a pretty decent 8 out of 10. I'd probably get this one again and maybe ask for a little bit of extra pickles on top of it just to give me a little bit more of that acidity. But overall, it's hearty, guys, and it definitely fills the need, especially if you like pulled pork. But of course, the question is, do you personally think you need to try this? Drop some comments down below. Are you a fan of pulled pork in general? And how do you think this actually compares overall to some of the pulled pork sandwiches you may have had in the past? Drop those comments down below and definitely let me know. And with that, this is Ian K closing out another episode of Peep This Out, bringing you brand new content every single week here on my channel. So while you stay tuned for the next review coming real soon, in the meantime, stay frosty. I'll still go for that triple rodeo king, but this is a great alternative. Hey, it's great to have options, right? All right, everyone, until next time, I'll talk to you soon. But before you go, and just in case you haven't already, take a look at the last review that I put out right up over here, along with what I think YouTube is going to recommend for you to check out as well. As always, I think you'll find something to like in both of them, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. See ya.